Today on Cinemania, we'll count down the top 5 horror movie remakes. Find out why Sundance Film Festival is considered one of the best. And discover which 5 independent films are Cinemania's greatest. All this and more as we look at the silver screen's best and worst in Cinemania. But first, grab the popcorn and dim the lights, because we're going to count down Cinemania's top 5 horror remakes. Coming in at number 5 is the ghost story, The Fog. The 1980 original was a John Carpenter film. The scare veteran became a producer for the 2005 Fright flick, which was directed by Rupert Wainwright.
Elizabeth?
What's happening?
It killed him. The fog killed him.
Get off the island.
Why?
Just go.
Somebody out here?
The thrills from this film and the remake begin with the arrival of a sinister fog. The fog brings with it vengeful ghosts from a shipwreck sent to the bottom of the sea by the town's ancestors 100 years ago.
What the hell is that?
Get out of there! Come on! Grab my hand!
Each night, the residents find themselves under attack as the ghosts seek vengeance.
There is something in the fog!
The Fog debuted top of the US box office, proving that people are still afraid of what they can't see.
Where are you? Nick!
At number 4 on Cinemania's list of top 5 horror remakes is the 2006 version of The Omen.
I'm here to protect you.
While some horror films are released to capitalize on Halloween, this thriller was released on June the 6th, making its release date the 6th of the 6th, 2006, or symbolically 666.
There's a birthmark, a sequence of sixes. From
The
the
3
eternal
sixes
sea
are used
rises.
in the film as the sign of Satan. Once again, the plot follows an American diplomat who slowly realizes that his son Damien is the Antichrist.
Your son, the son of the devil.
The new cast saw Mia Farrow make a return to classic horror, playing the devil-worshipping nanny who tries to protect the satanic child. Mia Farrow, scary children, and symbolic release dates make this terrifying horror worthy of 4th position. Zombie horror remake Dawn of the Dead shuffles in at number 3. In the film, as dawn breaks, zombies have inexplicably taken over the world, with each new victim rising as the living dead and hungry for human flesh. Director George Romero's beloved 1978 zombie flick classic is widely regarded as one of 2 definitive zombie genre films. The original was so revered, its fans urged against the remake, which opted to change a few aspects of the film. In the original film, there were only 4 surviving characters. In the remake, the band fighting for their lives had grown. The zombies themselves have also changed. In the Romero movies, the undead were slow, shuffling, but utterly relentless. In the remake, they're still single-minded, but they can sprint as fast as any of the living. These zombies intensified suspense levels, scaring a new breed of zombie lovers. Coming in at number 2 on Cinemania's list of top 5 horror remakes is the chilling The Grudge. This remake stands on its own, as it was made only a few years after the original and was directed by the same director. While more art house than slaughterhouse, this stylized fear-inducer is indirect, dragging you in for the psychological scare. The Grudge was based on the 2003 Japanese thriller Ju-on, The Grudge. Both films center around a suburban house in Tokyo, which is possessed by a violent plague. The plague destroys the lives of everyone who venture inside, with all of its victims dying in the grip of a powerful rage. This unique remake rightfully scared its way to number 2. Cinemania's greatest horror remake is the classic fright movie, The Amityville Horror. The original film, which was released in 1979, was soon followed by an official sequel in 82, an unofficial sequel in 83, and 5 direct-to-video sequels. In 2005, with all the special effects modern cinema could muster, Amityville Horror was remade and re-released, starring Ryan Reynolds and Melissa George as George and Kathy Lutz. 30 years after the events which inspired the hit movie, all agreed that Amityville was ripe for a remake.
Who are you talking to?
The girl who lives in my closet.
And what's her name?
Jody.
The horror was based on the best-selling book by Jay Anson, itself inspired by an account by real Long Island resident George Lutz of his 28 days in the Amityville house.
Can't sleep.
Once in the house, the Lutz family suffers sleepless nights, cold shivers and visions of a dead little girl. Then George begins to hear voices and to do what they tell him.
I'm living in their house. We need to get out of here. Just pack up and go.
Everything we have is in this house.
Based on a true story, this creepy horror remake is considered Cinemania's greatest. We've already looked at the top horror remakes. Now it's time to look at a man who made his name in horror. While actor Christopher Lee had numerous parts in films throughout the 50s, it was his performance in features like The Curse of Frankenstein, The Mummy, and in particular Dracula and its sequels that saw Christopher achieve real stardom. Ironically, it's his historical role playing Jinnah that he is most proud of.
The Muslim League has proved, in the eyes of the world, our right to represent the Muslims of India, a nation which has found its identity and has today declared its will.
While Lee thinks Jinnah was his best performance, his fans have their own opinions.
Best performance, I think, probably for me, The Devil Rides Out.
Dracula, I think. I personally think it's Scaramanga and the Man with the Golden Gun.
Now Christopher finds himself repeatedly called on to play sorcerers, vampires and wizards.
But fate decreed that the dark prophecy of a demon knight could bring a tragic end to this piece.
In 2004, Rhapsody, a group of Italian symphonic metalers, invited Lee to narrate on their 5th album, Symphony of Enchanted Lands 2, The Dark Secret. Lee's role was similar with the part he was called on to play in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. This character, along with his role in Star Wars, revived the actor's career.
You must join me, Obi-Wan, and together we will destroy the Sith.
Christopher Lee remains one of the most prolific actors in history. Cinema began, ambitious filmmakers have been creating larger-than-life productions. Stay with us as we count down Cinemania's greatest epics. At number 5 is the epic Kingdom of Heaven. This big-budget feature by Gladiator director Ridley Scott depicted a 12th century Muslim-Christian battle for Jerusalem. The epic, which is set during the Crusades in 1186, focused on a brief interlude of truce when Christians, Muslims and Jews coexisted in a fragile peace.
I want you to, every day, you will be a good man.
The film is about Balian of Ibelin, played by Orlando Bloom, a common man who is involved in a decade-long war.
Give me a war. That is what I do.
The film was destined to be an epic from the start. Its screenplay was 260 pages long. That's twice the usual length.
Of a perfect
night.
14,000 costumes, numerous elaborate sets, and some 800 special effects were used to bring this epic to life, making Kingdom of Heaven Cinemania's 5th greatest cinematic feature. The 4th epic is Troy, a film about one of the greatest love stories ever told. Based upon Homer's Iliad, Troy depicts the ancient Greek tale which tells the story of literature's most notorious lovers, Helen, Queen of Sparta, and Paris, Prince of Troy. Orlando Bloom takes on the role of Paris, giving him his 2nd film in Cinemania's greatest epics list.
I won't ask you to fight my war. You already have.
The love between Helen and Paris ignites a war destined to devastate a civilization.
I will look down on your corpse.
The epic, which also starred Brad Pitt and Eric Bana, had a budget of more than $100 million. Filming took place in Malta, London, and Los Cabos in Mexico.
Is there no one else? Is there no one else?
This tragic tale of love, glory, honour and power is an amazing epic, worthy of 4th position. Coming in at number 3 is the Tom Cruise epic, The Last Samurai. In the larger-than-life production, Cruise played Civil War veteran Captain Nathan Algren. Algren is hired to train the Japanese army in the ways of Western warfare so that the ancient samurai warriors can be crushed.
What do you want for yourself?
After being captured by the samurai, Algren undergoes a physical and emotional transformation as he witnesses the code of ethics by which they live and die. The conclusion of his metamorphosis is that he joins the samurai rebellion and takes up a sword against the Emperor's army. The movie took 2 years to make and was filmed in Japan, New Zealand and North America. For Cruise, who also produced the movie, the process required his own personal journey, which he described as ambitious. Cruise spent months learning how to fight with a sword and move wearing heavy armour, helping him make this feature truly epic. Coming in at number 2 is Zatoichi, a classic samurai epic set in 19th century Japan. Zatoichi tells of a blind assassin desperately struggling to adhere to the strict code of the samurai. Writer and director Takeshi Kitano wanted the fights to be as realistic as possible, but he also wanted the blood to be extremely exaggerated. Kitano thought that the over-the-top CGI blood would soften the epic's extreme violence. Kitano also starred in the lead role, playing a blind wanderer who makes a living by gambling and giving massages. He's also a master swordsman, gifted with lightning-fast strokes of breathtaking precision. While violently graphic, this epic won numerous accolades, which is why it takes 2nd place. Cinemania's greatest epic is also one of the most expensive Chinese movies ever filmed. It's the impressive Hero. Originally released in 2002 in Asia, it was not released in the United States until 2 years later. To everyone's surprise, the film reached number 1 at the US box office and soon took the title as the 3rd highest grossing foreign film ever to be released in the United States. Chinese director Zhang Yimou's martial arts epic told the story of a man protecting his emperor from would-be assassins, set in the long-distant past of 2,000 years ago. His art house background made each scene a spectacle in itself. In the film, Jet Li played the lead, a man known only as Nameless. Nameless gets invited into Quinn's palace for a meeting after he claims to have killed all 3 assassins and presents Quinn with their trademark weapons. Nameless begins to recount his tales of killing the 3, but Quinn doesn't believe him. So Nameless begins to change his story, all shown in separate chapters throughout the film. This amazing blockbuster set a new standard. That's why it's Cinemania's greatest epic. You don't usually associate the glitz and glamour of A-list celebrities with low-budget independent films. Unless, of course, you're talking about Sundance, one of the most profiled independent film festivals around. The organisers at Sundance spend a considerable time explaining that the 10-day film festival, which takes place in Park City, Utah, is more a celebration of the independent filmmaker than anything else. But that doesn't stop the industry movers, shakers and wannabes turning the small mountain town's normally quiet Main Street into a 24/7 version of the Hollywood Strip. Sundance, backed by Robert Redford's Sundance Institute for Film, has become one of the top events for independent filmmakers. Along with its rise to festival fame in the 1990s came a wide range of celebrities, not all of whom have appeared in, supported, or even heard of the independent films that are screened. On the red carpet, you'll find Jennifer Aniston and Catherine Keener, who were there for the premiere of their indie film, Friends with Money. You'll also find celebrities like Paris Hilton, who come for the nightlife, and corporate giants like Sony and Yahoo, who try to brand themselves with the in crowd. Founder of the Sundance Institute, Robert Redford, insists that although the festival now draws a host of A-list celebrities, it remains true to its original mission.
We're not obligated to the commerciality as a factor. And so we program for issues of diversity, issues of uniqueness, individual voices expressing themselves in an individual, independent way.
From the festival to the films, stay tuned as we count down Cinemania's best indie films. Coming in at number 5 is the indie film Don't Come Knocking. German filmmaker Wim Wenders, who helped redefine German cinema, reunited with Sam Shepard on the project. The actor wrote the screenplay and starred in the director's ode to the still untamed West.
To meet up with your abandoned son.
Don't Come Knocking tells the story of a Hollywood actor, Howard Spencer, who, lost on a drinking binge, takes off on a journey to find himself. He disappears from his latest film set, determined to rediscover his identity, and in the process finds out he has a grown-up son, the result of a half-forgotten film set fling.
What do you mean he's gone?
I mean, he just disappeared.
The mother of his child was played by Shepard's real-life partner, Jessica Lange. Their relationship clearly helped add depth to their on-screen rapport, helping Don't Come Knocking secure 5th place on Cinemania's list of best indie movies.
Many members of his profession.
Are you a wanted man? I'm an actor. What movies? High Noon?
Number 4 on Cinemania's list of best indie films is The Alternative, Trans-America. The film starred Desperate Housewives actress Felicity Huffman as Stanley Bree Osborne, a man preparing for a sex change. As Bree is getting ready for the final procedure that will complete her gender transformation, she finds out she has a long-lost son.
No third person.
My son.
I can't handle this. I had to camp out last night on the ground with bugs because he is impossible.
I can't fritter away my savings like this. My surgery's only 5 days away.
Bree's therapist withholds permission for the final part of her operation until she meets her son, so Bree heads east. The pair take a road trip as Bree tries and fails to tell Toby the truth about who she is and who she was.
I'll put hair on your chest.
Coming in 3rd position on Cinemania's list of best indie films is scriptwriter Noah Baumbach's semi-autobiographical feature, The Squid and the Whale.
New house across the park. It's an elegant block, the fillet of the neighborhood.
Here's a desk for you to do your homework.
This is for a lefty.
The film looks at the torment and turmoil as two brothers deal in their own way with their parents' divorce.
Come on. You have to try. It's no fun for me if you don't try.
I want to be a tennis pro like Ivan.
Oh, come on. You don't want to be a tennis pro.
Why not?
It's not serious. I mean, McEnroe. Borg is an artist. It's like dance.
This small independent film received 6 nominations for the 2006 Independent Spirits Awards, which is seen as the independent filmmaker's equivalent to the Oscars.
I just wanted to say, I don't know.
Baumbach even received an Academy Award nomination for his screenplay. That's why this indie film is Cinemania's third greatest. At number 2 is the Jim Jarmusch indie Broken Flowers. Starring Bill Murray as confirmed bachelor Don, Broken Flowers is about the lack of understanding between men and women. It only took Jarmusch 2.5 weeks to write the screenplay, which he wrote with Bill Murray in mind to play the lead. In the film, Don receives a pink letter from an anonymous former girlfriend informing him that he has a 19-year-old son who may be looking for him. Urged to investigate by his closest friend, Don reluctantly begins a cross-country trek in search of clues from 4 old flames. When Cinemania's third greatest indie film premiered at Cannes, the screening finished with a full 5 minutes of applause.
That's not cool.
Lolita. Interesting choice of name, Laura.
What?
That's all I can remember.
Good. Cool.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Cinemania's greatest indie film is the award-winning Sideways. The comic tale follows 2 men who are searching for adventure, true love, and the perfect Pinot Noir.
Miles, these girls want to party with us. If they want to drink Merlot, we're drinking Merlot. No, if anybody orders Merlot, I'm leaving. I am not drinking any Merlot!
The main characters in Sideways, Miles and Jack, are both lying to themselves about their own middle-aged lives. Their lies are exposed during a week-long vacation in California's wine country.
We are celebrating Miles' book deal, published author.
Oh, what's the title?
The day after yesterday.
Oh, you mean today?
Yeah.
The film's wine appreciation theme actually affected the sale of wine in the United States and Britain over the 2004-2005 festive season. Sales of Pinot Noir in particular actually rose by 20%. This indie film was the first to win Best Screenplay from all 5 major critic groups, a Golden Globe, the Writers Guild, and ultimately the Academy Award, making Sideways more than worthy of top position in Cinemania's list of best indie films.
Shut up. It's all about stillness. Inner quiet.
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
That's all we've got time for. Be sure to tune in next time to get your dose of Cinemania.